Why was Hamburger Hill fought in the Asia Valley? Imagine a steep, jungle-covered hill in Vietnam that became one of the most intense battles of the Vietnam War. That's what Hamburger Hill was all about. The Asia Valley was a vital route for the North Vietnamese army to move men and supplies from Laos into South Vietnam. Since 1966, the valley had become a major supply corridor, with the enemy establishing a strong presence there after capturing a special forces camp. The United States and South Vietnamese forces knew that controlling this area was key to stopping the enemy's infiltration. During May 1969, they launched Operation Apache Snow, a large campaign aimed at hitting the North Vietnamese army forces gathered in the valley. The operation involved thousands of troops from the United States Army and the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, including 3 battalions from the 101st Airborne Division. They used artillery and airstrikes to weaken the enemy defenses. Hamburger Hill, also called Hill 937 or Dong Up Bia, was a heavily fortified position that guarded the main infiltration route through the valley. The hill was covered in thick jungle and steep slopes, making it a difficult spot to take. The North Vietnamese army had dug in there, creating well-defended bunkers and trenches. The goal was to seize this hill to cut off the enemy's access and prevent them from using it as a strategic stronghold. The battle lasted for 11 days and was extremely fierce. U.S. soldiers faced brutal fighting in the dense jungle, often fighting uphill against well-entrenched enemy troops. The terrain made movement slow and dangerous, and the enemy's defenses were tough to break through. The fighting was so intense that it became a symbol of the high cost of the war and the challenges of fighting in such rugged terrain. Why was Hamburger Hill fought in this location? Because the Asia Valley was a key gateway for the North Vietnamese to send supplies and troops into South Vietnam. The hill itself was a strategic point that protected these routes. Capturing it was meant to weaken the enemy's ability to operate in the area. Even though the battle was costly and controversial, it was part of a larger effort to disrupt North Vietnamese operations in the region. In the end, the battle showed how difficult it was to control terrain in Vietnam. It also raised questions about whether such costly fights were worth it in the bigger picture of the war. But what's clear is that Hamburger Hill was fought there because of its importance as a defensive position guarding the vital infiltration routes into South Vietnam.